Hello everyone, this is Mel from Cardstock Concoctions. I am back bringing you another 13 Days of Halloween project, and this is our really cute card that we're making today. I'm going to change it up a little bit. So instead of the pumpkin pie base, I'm actually going to use basic gray. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to set this aside. The first thing we're going to do is actually stamp, pull it back in guys, we're going to stamp this spiderweb effect around the outside. So what are you going to need for that? You are going to need a piece of basic black cardstock. Don't worry about dimensions or directions or anything or supplies. Just go ahead and click in the description bar below. It'll take you direct link to this project and you can find all the dimensions, directions, supplies, everything that you need there. All right, what stamp set are we using today? So today we are going to use Ghoulish Grunge, and we are using this lovely spider web there. So I really, really like it. So we are using that. And I already have it all mounted up for us. So go ahead and grab your Versamark ink pad. Now if you guys notice on mine, it's a little dirty, but we're stamping on black, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, we're using the Versamark ink pad. Get that nice and inked up. You want a really good inked image. And before we do anything else, use our Embossing Buddy. I almost forgot this step. Run your Embossing Buddy all over it. You're not going to need the center. So go ahead and stick your finger in the center if you need to. Got a little overzealous there with the Embossing Buddy, but that's okay. Set him aside. And now we're just going to stamp. Oops, I just hit the light. I am so sorry, guys. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this kind of like basically almost over the edge. A little bit. Nice, good, clear, inked up image. Straight down, straight up. And we're going to ink this up again. Sometimes I go ink to stamp, stamp to ink. Doesn't really matter how you do it. As long as you guys get nice coverage. We're going to set it down, and then straight up again. And then we're going to do this again. I did the 4 corners originally. So I'm actually going to try to do a little bit on the inside, but I'm going to get the 4 corners done first. Straight down, straight up. Ooh, gonna get nice and inky here. One last time for the corners, and then maybe a little bit on the inside there. Straight down, straight up. And now I'm going to do, turn it upside down here, so we're going to see the difference. There in the center. And one more time for the bottom. All right. Okay. You are done with your Versamark ink. Go ahead and close that up. Now we are going to use clear embossing powder today. I just went ahead and grabbed a piece of scratch paper here. Slide this into the center. And we're going to give this a nice, good coat. Now, the embossing powder goes a really long way, but you need to make sure you get it nice and covered. Get nice, good coverage. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm using the entire pot. Don't worry about that. Most of it comes off. And then tap off the excess off your fingers. You guys are going to see all that powder that we have left? We dumped it all out of the pot basically onto the paper just to make sure we had nice, good coverage. And if you crease your paper, nice pour spout. It's awesome. Okay, so we got it all back there in the pot. Done with the paper. Go ahead and close up your embossing powder. If you're me, wipe off your work surface because I can't do anything clean, let me tell you. Now, if you have your volume turned up, please turn your volume down. This is going to be loud because I do not have a nice Stampin' Up! One, and even that one's loud. So please turn down your volume now. Here we go. So what you're looking for is for this nice, like whitish powder. Kind of keep it moving a little bit here. Heat it up on my arm. Okay, so what you're looking for is for that nice whitish powder to turn clear. See, it's starting to turn clear? There we go. Nice, melted. Do the bottom, get my hand out of the way. All right, that is done. So now your paper is going to be hot. My suggestion, set it aside for just a few seconds while you're doing the rest of the card and then come back to it and it won't be nearly as warm to touch. Okay, so we're also going to now do the rest of the card. So what are you going to need for the rest of the card? So I took a basic gray piece of paper. It's 5.5 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide. Scored it down the middle. Just go ahead and fold it. For those of you who don't like bone folders, there we go. That and I forgot my bone folder. So there's that piece. Now I've got a large scrap of Whisper White here. You do not need this much. I just didn't take the time to measure. But we're going to be using the Cookie Cutter Halloween. And you really can pick any one of these images that you wish. But I really like this skeleton here. I thought he was adorable. So I'm going to use the skeleton again. And I'm going to give him another bow tie. But we're going to stamp the skeleton in basic black. Stampin' Up's basic black. Just gives a nice, rich color. We're just going to get that out of the way. So it's already mounted up over here for me. Okay. I had dog hair all over it. Cannot have dog hair all over your projects, typically. Straight down, good, solid image. Straight up. I like it. It's cute. Okay, so along with that, we're going to use our basic black for one other thing. So we're also using today the Halloween Treat stamp set, and we're actually just using the Trick or Treat. Now I have that mounted up as well, and you are going to want let me give you guys the actual proper size here. It's 1 inch wide by about 4 inches long. So we are going to ink up our Trick or Treat. And yes, if this is the first 13 days of Halloween video you guys saw with me, I did cut the stamp apart. The rest of the stamp is still in there. I didn't want to have to worry about masking or any of that kind of stuff, and I loved the font of the stamp set. Oof, dog hair everywhere. So I just used the Trick or Treat part of it. So you kind of want to aim a little bit for the center here. Don't go too close to the one edge because you're going to pennant that off with the banner punch. And the other end's going to be stuck underneath our skeleton. Straight down, straight up. Nice, rich image there as well. Beautiful. All right, you're done with your basic black ink. We are going to pull out our pumpkin pie ink real quick here. And we're going to stamp the bow tie. Just the bow, because I thought it was cute. And I wanted it. There we go. All right, you're done with that too. I know, so hard. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to set all these, put these off a little bit to the side here. And we're going to grab our banner triple punch, or triple banner punch. Look on the top of the screen somewhere, that's where it's going to be. Okay. So we're going to take both ends, slide it all the way to the back there. And this is a basic gray piece, and we're actually going to pennant both ends of it. And it is, ooh, what is this? This is 1.5 by 5.25 inches. Okay. Slide it around to the other side. Do the same thing. All right, set that off to the side there. Now we have a piece of pumpkin pie that is 4 inches long by 1.25 inches wide. Now you'll notice these grooves go in 1/2 inches, not in inches. So what I do, I turn it over. Hope I get just about in the middle there. You guys can see that. And punch. May not be exact, but it works for my purpose. And then our 1 inch, all you have to do is just set that down in that 1 inch groove that's at the bottom there. Put it to the back and punch. So now you guys have your perfectly punched out pieces. Get rid of these because you don't need those. We are going to grab our cookie cutter builder punch. And we are going to punch out our skeleton. He's so cute. Okay, I'm going to tip him towards me for just a second, just so I can line them up, guys. Sorry if you can't see this. All right, there we go. As good as I'm ever gonna get him. Punch him all the way out. All right, and then we're gonna take the little bow that's there on the corner. Oof, maybe not. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna take that little bow there that's on the corner. Just didn't put it in the right spot on the paper. Oh well, happens. Punch him out as well. You're done with your scrap of Whisper White there. And yes, I know that was more than a little scrap, but that's okay. So we have our bow, we have our skeleton, everything else we can kind of get rid of. All right, so now we're gonna be inking everything in basic gray ink. So grab your basic gray, your Stampin' Sponge here, and it's just to give it just a little bit of color. Now, my basic gray is very, very juicy. And wet ink always looks darker than dry ink, so it will dry a little bit darker, or a little bit lighter, I should say. But I want to go ahead and I'm just going around all four of the sides on this. And I'm not being pretty about it. Halloween's all about a little bit of spooky, grungy, non-perfectness. But if you are very, very picky about how yours looks, take a little more time with it than I do. I personally like the little bit of the sloppiness because it gives me a little more of a Halloween feel. Let's go around the edges of all your pieces. There's that piece. Go around the edge of our pumpkin pie piece here. And last but not least, our Spooktacular Halloween piece. Just go around the edges of that. And almost done. Okay, done with our sponging. And we're done with our basic gray ink. So if you guys were counting, that is 4 ink pads for this nice little project I used, and it looks really simple, but I apparently liked my ink pads today. So there we go. So now it's time to start layering, and we're actually going to pull back in our spider web. So it's nice and cool now. You don't have to worry about, you know, burning your fingers off or anything. And we're grabbing back in our basic gray, and use whatever adhesive you guys like. I'm using snail because I like snail and it works for me. So we're just going to center that in the center of the basic black. Top to bottom, left to right, side to side. All that kind of fun stuff. Stick it down. And we're going to grab our, did I pop this up? Nope, I didn't. Okay. Thought I did, but I didn't. We are just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back of our pumpkin pie and set it off at a slightly jaunty angle there. Then same thing with our trick or treat. I can make it quite as of a jaunty angle as I did before. Then we're going to grab the back, our lovely skeleton here. Grab 2 dimensionals for that. Pop those on the back. Pull those puppies off. There we go. Pull the backing of your things off there. Now I set my skeleton here over the edges of my banners there. And I used one glue dot, one rolled up glue dot. So take the glue dot, fold it in half, and I use that to attach the bow to the skeleton. Oops, when I'm down just a little bit. And now we're going to grab a couple more glue dots here, or a couple more dimensionals, not glue dots, dimensionals. Because I wanted to give my card just a little bit of extra oomph. There we go. And I do one for the middle. Not everybody puts one in the middle. Some people put 2 in the middle. It's up to you. Oh, cannot seem to get the backs off of the dimensionals today. Okay. There is that. Center it in the basic gray cardstock there. There we go. Oh, I like the gray version. All right, so there we go. I think I like this gray version a little better. So if you guys ever have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment bar below, or go ahead and follow that link in the description bar, and you guys can always send me an email. Please let me know which one you guys like better. I always like to hear from you guys and to see what you guys create as well. So this is Mel from Cardstock Concoctions saying thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you guys again soon. So talk to you guys later. Bye.